Welcome back to Hard Hat Chat. I'm Justin Smith, CEO of Contractor Plus, and with me, as always, is my good friend and industry powerhouse, Gerritt Bake, CEO of BuildPro.
Hey everyone, good to be here. Ready to dig into a topic that shapes the construction world more than most people realize.
Today we're talking about immigrant labor in the U.S. construction industry. Not the politics, not the headlines, the real day-to-day truth about who's showing up with their boots on, getting the work done, and keeping projects alive.
Immigrants are a huge part of this industry's workforce, often taking on the toughest jobs and doing them exceptionally well. But there are challenges, misconceptions, and policies that don't always reflect that reality.
We're here to break it down from the contractor perspective, the impact on business, scheduling, wages, and the future of skilled labor. No spin, no politics, just job site reality.
So buckle up. This one matters more than most people know.
Hard Hat Chat starts right now. We're in the business of building, and that includes building honest conversations. So here's the question. How much of America is built by immigrant labor?
And the honest answer is a lot. Enough that if every immigrant worker walked off the job tomorrow, the entire industry would freeze. Schedules would collapse, housing shortages would explode, infrastructure projects would stall, contractors would be drowning in backlog.
Yet this same labor force is constantly in the political crossfire, debated like a statistic instead of recognized as the people who are literally holding the economy up in one hand and a hammer in the other.
Let's get straight to the problem. America does not have enough citizens entering the trades. Every contractor listening knows this. Not enough electricians, not enough framers, not enough roofers, not enough laborers, not enough welders, not enough concrete workers. We have more job openings than workers. That's not politics. That's math.
Here's the truth people miss. Immigrants aren't taking jobs. They're filling jobs that would otherwise remain empty. And if those jobs remain empty, inflation skyrockets and project costs double.
People imagine immigrant construction workers as temporary, untrained, or unskilled. But the reality, they're highly specialized, they're fast, they're reliable, they're experienced, and they work the hardest and dirtiest job.
Not only do they have skills, they mastered them in countries where construction is still a deeply respected craft. They come here bringing craftsmanship, work ethic, and determination that keeps job sites moving.
Every contractor has felt the labor squeeze. You post a job, maybe 3 locals apply, and 2 of them quit by lunch. Meanwhile, immigrant crews show up early, stay late, and pick up the slack nobody else will touch.
And they don't complain that it's hot, or that it's raining, or that the job is too hard. They signed up for hard. And why politics gets it wrong.
Politics is loud, reality is quiet, but reality is undeniable. Construction companies need immigrant labor, not as a luxury, as a literal survival mechanism.
Let's flip the narrative to dollars. More workers equals more housing. More housing equals lower costs. Lower costs equals economic stability. The current shortage of skilled labor is a major cause of high home prices, slow construction timelines, backlogged infrastructure, contractor burnout.
Immigrant workers aren't the problem. They are the pressure relief valve.
Think about roofing. The average age of an American-born roofer keeps rising. Young Americans aren't lining up to carry shingles in 105-degree heat.
And the idea that if immigrants disappear, local workers will suddenly flood in to save the day, not happening. There are crews right now on every site in America who are the only reason that job is progressing.
There's a disconnect between the narrative and the truth. People yell about outsiders until their home is flooded or their power goes out. Who shows up to rebuild? Immigrant labor.
When a roof is leaking, no homeowner asks for a passport. They ask, how fast can you fix it?
Contractors know where the next generation of trade workers is coming from. Most apprenticeship lists are filled with first-generation workers, hard new arrivals, hard-working families building a new future.
And that's the American story. Work hard, build something, create opportunity. Construction is the opportunity.
Contractors listening, don't let politics distract you from your mission. Hire the people who want to build. Hire the people who show up. Hire the people who care. The workforce doesn't have a nationality. The workforce has a work ethic.
And that's what we need right now. Builders, doers, people who say, give me a chance and watch what I can do.
If immigrant labor is the backbone, then the industry must invest in language support, safety training, skill certification, fair wages, clear career paths.
Because when these workers advance, the entire industry advances. Elevate them, and you elevate the craftsmanship of the country.
Here's the truth everyone should know. America doesn't just use immigrant labor. America is built by immigrant labor. Housing, skyscrapers, roads, bridges, schools, homes we tuck our kids into, all touched by hands from around the world.
In part 2, we'll cover real contractor crew success stories, policy changes that would actually help, how immigrant labor can solve the worker shortage, how to honor and protect the people holding construction together.
Because if we want to talk about the future of construction, we need to include every worker who is already building it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break. And hey, if you're a contractor looking to scale your business without adding more chaos, check out Contractor Plus. It's the only app you'll ever need to run your business from start to finish. CRM, estimates, invoices, payments, plus powerful integrations like QuickBooks Online, Zapier, Authorize.net, ABC Supply, and more. Go further, win more, and work smarter.
Picking up right where we left off, we're shifting the conversation from what immigrant labor is doing for the industry to how we create an environment where everyone wins: contractors, communities, and the workers who are actually swinging the hammers.
Because this isn't about politics, it's about people and productivity. The industry doesn't run on cable news opinions. It runs on real humans pouring concrete and hanging drywall. I talked to a remodeling contractor in Texas recently. He had been cycling through local hires, no-shows, constant turnover, short-term commitment. Then he found a skilled immigrant father and son team. Within a year, productivity doubled, quality improved, callbacks dropped, clients raved. They grew together as a team. Now that crew is essential to his entire operation.
They built trust, loyalty, pride. That isn't politics, that's construction. That's America, where anyone willing to work hard can help build the future.
This is where people get it wrong. Immigrant labor isn't cheap. It's competitive, but most importantly, it's reliable. Contractors aren't hiring cheaper labor, they're hiring stronger work ethic.
Quality and speed reduce job costs. Crews who show up and produce consistently are more valuable than any slight wage difference. Hiring isn't a social experiment, it's business survival.
When immigration is functional and fair, contractors gain clear hiring channels, legal workforce stability, better training pathways, less job site risk, confidence in labor continuity. When the system is chaotic, everyone loses.
Contractors don't want loopholes. They want clarity. Because the tighter the rules are, the easier it is to build strong teams without fear of legal chaos.
There's a reason immigrant labor dominates the hardest sectors: concrete, rebar framing crews, roofing, demolition, agriculture-aligned trades. These are the jobs people say they want until the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. in 20-degree weather.
Yet these workers step up every day and they take pride in it. It's time the public respected that instead of pretending someone else will pick up the tools.
Look, we want more American-born youth in the trades. We're pushing apprenticeship programs everywhere. But right now, the waiting list for workers is longer than the waiting list for projects.
Immigrants aren't replacing American workers. They are buying us time to rebuild a pipeline of new ones. This is teamwork, not competition.
Now, let's call out the other side too. If you help someone build their business, you pay fair, you train fair, you treat fair. No exploitation, no shortcuts. Respect must flow both ways.
Because the people building homes should be able to afford a home too. A rising industry should lift everyone.
Contractors hire based on a simple philosophy. I don't care where you're from. I care if you show up. I care if you do good work. I care if I can count on you. End of story.
Construction doesn't care about politics. It cares about productivity. Jobs get done by workers, not by opinion.
If the industry pushes immigrant workers away, the result will be contractor collapse, project inflation, worker burnout, longer lead times, housing shortages, broken infrastructure. Nobody benefits.
America can't continue to grow if half the workforce disappears overnight.
Immigrant labor built skyscrapers, highways, hospitals, power plants, suburbs, warehouses, schools, military bases, generations of structures that hold the country up today.
They didn't take the jobs. They took the bricks and turned them into the American dream.
Here's the reality we stand behind. If you love the home you live in, thank a contractor. If you love that your contractor showed up, thank the crew. And if that crew speaks multiple languages, thank them even more because they are choosing to build your community.
We don't care what the politicians say. We care what the workers do. And the workers are building America. One nail, one beam, one home, one dream at a time.
Construction is unity. Construction is opportunity. Construction is proof that when people work together, everybody rises. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break. And hey, if you're a contractor looking to scale your business without adding more chaos, check out Contractor Plus. Welcome back to Hard Hat Chat. Till now, we talked about how immigrant workers are filling a labor shortage that would completely freeze our industry if they disappeared. We talked about their skill, their drive, their impact on our economy, and the truth about how much America depends on them. Now we're going one step deeper. Not just what immigrant labor does today, but what they mean for the future of construction in this country.
There's a phrase you said earlier that stuck with me. America isn't just using immigrant labor. America is built by immigrant labor. And if we're going to build the next era of this country, we need to make sure the people doing that building are supported, respected, and included in how we plan ahead.
Exactly. Because here's the real question no one in politics wants to answer. Who is going to rebuild the bridges that are falling apart? Who is going to construct the new power grid? Who is going to expand our housing when families are priced out? Who is going to build the factories bringing manufacturing back to the U.S.?
The same people already doing it. They're on job sites right now, pouring concrete and framing houses while everyone else argues about them on TV.
We have a housing shortage in every major city, and every contractor listening knows one of the top reasons is not materials, it's not interest rates, it's workers. We do not have enough boots on the ground to build the amount of housing America needs for the next decade.
And guess who is ready to show up? Immigrant workers. They're not asking for a handout. They're asking for a chance. They're asking for a fair shot to build a life by building the country. That's not politics. That's the American dream in steel toe boots.
And here's where contractors come in. We are the front line of workforce development, not colleges, not think tanks. Us. We're the ones teaching the trades, the safety, the craftsmanship. We're the ones giving new workers their first opportunity to prove themselves. So we better make sure we're ready to train the workers who actually show up.
And let's talk about skills for a second because people love to say immigrant labor is unskilled. Really? Try tying rebar in a heat all day. Try running a framing crew that can stand walls faster than you can get the next bundle of lumber delivered. Try roofing in triple digit weather without complaining. That's skill. That's toughness. That's professionalism.
When you walk a new worker to a job site and they already know the tools, the code, the workflow, and they can learn your system in a week, you don't question where they're from. You say, thank God they're here. And if that makes someone uncomfortable, that's their insecurity talking, not reality.
100%. So let's talk loyalty because contractors know turnover is brutal. Hiring is brutal. You invest in workers, you train them, and then they vanish. But immigrant crews, when you treat them right, they stay. They bring friends and family. They become your foundation.
They build your company while they build America. That's a partnership, and we need more partnerships like that because the backlash isn't coming from the job site. The respect is there. It's coming from the sidelines, from people who have never worn PPE a day in their life.
Anyone who has ever run payroll knows this truth. If you remove immigrant labor from the equation, the cost of every project doubles. And I'm not talking theory, I'm talking math. They should be teaching in every economics class.
And let's talk about safety. These crews often walk into a new country and a new industry with language barriers, cultural differences, and zero orientation. Safety training should be a priority. OSHA training should be accessible, and leadership should be intentional about making sure every worker gets home alive.
Safety doesn't depend on what language you speak. It depends on what standards you hold your company to.
And speaking of standards, let's hit the big debate: legalization and work authorization. Look, contractors want rules, clear, fair, and forcible rules that allow workers to operate without fear and businesses to operate without guessing. Everyone wins with clarity.
Nobody wants slip through the cracks hiring. We want an honest path because when this workforce is stable, the entire supply chain becomes stable. And when that happens, prices drop, backlogs shrink, homes get built, the economy grows.
Immigrant labor isn't the threat. It's the safety net keeping the industry from collapse.
I want to shift to the human side for a minute. We hear stories every day. A worker who came here at 18, now a foreman managing 20 guys. A young woman who came from a rural village, now running a roofing business with 12 trucks. A father who sends money home so his kids can get an education. These stories are real and they are powerful.
This industry doesn't just build buildings, it builds lives, and those lives belong to everyone who steps onto the job site.
And here's the leadership message for every contractor listening. These workers are not temporary. They are not a stopgap. They are the future leaders of the trades. They will become your supers, your estimators, your project managers, your partners.
The future of construction depends on who we invest in today. And immigrant workers deserve that investment because they have already proven themselves 1,000 times over.
I want to end with this. We need unity, not division. We need more people building the workforce instead of tearing each other down. Construction is about getting things done. No excuses, just results. And immigrant workers are delivering results every single day. If you want to see the truth, don't look at headlines. Look at the skyline. Look at the homes. Look at the roads. Look at the buildings where our families live, work, and heal. Look at the structures rising over every city in America. Immigrant labor did that. They are helping build the most powerful nation on earth, one job at a time. This isn't a political statement, it's a gratitude statement. Thank you to every worker out there who wakes up early, works hard, and builds the places where America lives its life. That's part 3 of Immigrant Labor in U.S. Construction. We're proud of this conversation, and we're proud of every worker in the field fighting to build the future. This industry rises when we rise together. And the truth is simple. Without immigrant labor, construction stops. With immigrant labor, America grows.
We'll see you on the next episode of Hard Hat Chat.